Okay, let's let this arm hang off the table. Prop your shoulder up there. Okay, scoot towards me a little bit more. There you go. Okay, so for this one, so she's in the scapular plane now, right? Her arm is more or less in the scapular plane. This exercise is to retrain the posterior cuff without getting excessive deltoid dominance. Okay. Now, the latest evidence out there says it doesn't matter. I think early on it does matter, like being able to isolate movements and gain body awareness. Not because when you throw a baseball you're not going to use your deltoid, but just to be able to build that body awareness and say, oh yeah, that's the rotator cuff. You know, I think that's important. So the cue is, don't let the shoulder drive down into the pad. Don't let the arm come up off the table, because you see when either of those two things happen, the other one also happens. So the idea is she has to keep this to stay in the scapular plane, okay? And then from there, I'm gonna say, okay, now rotate upwards this way, but keep the arm touching the table. See, deltoid is nice and soft, posterior cuff is nice and turned on. So you feel that right here, right? Yep, back down. And then you check it, you just feel, you know, you can feel both. So Wendy, come see. Put a finger in each spot, one on the infraspinatus, one on the deltoid. Okay, go ahead, Lisa, rotate.
So
Yeah, so it's all posterior cuff. Good, and then back down. So I really like this one. I do this with a lot of patients, especially early on. And once they get the hang of it, I'll start adding weight. If they're post-op and they're just starting the active range phase,
So why don't you put them like at 9, like have them?
I would progress to that later.
Oh, okay.
This is just for early on. Yep. And by the time I'm doing that, I'm usually seated.
Yeah.
Doing 90-90 loading like that. If they're post-op just entering the active phase, I'm not going to load them up.
Yeah.
If they're just in the active phase, like so from that 8 to 12 week phase, I'm probably just doing this with no weight. If it was a very small repair, and if it wasn't Williams.
Yeah, I was gonna say.